What's up, everyone? This is the BumCast. I am your host, HBIC, the head bum in charge, along with Baloney and the Southside bum, Dougie Fresh. I don't know where Dougie Fresh is. He's somewhere. He's either working or he's at the Hawks party. I don't know where he's at.
You know what it is about Dougie Fresh?
Time off.
Another time off. And I will say, he did a really good job with the Bums Happy Hour on Friday. He takes charge of one live stream for us, and he thinks he needs another vacation because of it.
Unbelievable. But it is, guys, it is a Bears victory Monday after 10 long weeks. Bears victory Monday. Holy hell. I didn't think that was ever going to happen again, but we finally did it, guys. We finally beat the Packers for the first time since 2018, 11 long games of losing against the Packers. We finally beat them in Lambeau with a walk-off field goal that I didn't think was going to even make it because it's Cairo Santos kicking 50-yarders. But holy hell, we did it, guys. Bears have won that one.
Feels good, right? You mentioned it. I thought the same thing. I thought we were not going to have another victory Monday for the rest of the year. We were going to have to wait till September, October. Who knows? Feels good. I don't want to hear. We'll talk about it a little more later, but I don't want to hear nothing about draft picks and ruining this and ruining that. I'll take a win against the Green Bay Packers by hook or by crook, because I don't care how ugly it is. It's a W, and I'm taking it, and I'm leaving it.
Did you have that
2025?
Undefeated 2025. Did you have that feeling that it was going to go the Bears' way, like the way that things were going? No. Did you? I for one, I'm going to say this because I did. I felt like this was I'm not going to say like a Walter Payton type of game where, remember that game where, they got the black field goal in that Green Bay Packer game the day after. I think it was either the day after he passed away or the week where he passed away. But it just felt like the way that Green Bay was playing, we got a love out the game, and we almost got, was it Wilkes out the game as too?
Well, yeah.
Willis. I'm sorry. Willis. And it just seemed like it was like, all right, it's not going to happen again. It can't happen twice. And I felt like that we were going to get that field goal. So I had that feeling.
I'm glad you had that feeling.
I had them as a win. I bet on the Bears to win the game.
Ooh, that's good. No, I thought when DJ Moore fumbled that screen pass, yes. I'm like, this is it. Bears are Bearsing again. They're going to blow this game, and that's it.
I was waiting for that other shoe to drop. I was excited. I was excited when they got that punt return, and things were going their way, and they were hanging in there. But I knew I was just waiting. I'm like, I'm not going to get too excited. I've seen this over and over again the last 2 years. And then when the fumble happened, I'm like, well, there it is. And I tweeted it out, and there it is. Like, we knew it was happening. What I didn't expect, credit to Caleb Williams on the offense, was for them to drive down the field. And credit to the terrible defense, the prevent defense by the Packers.
Well, the horse
I don't
collar
know.
tackle helped too.
The horse collar tackle, but that's what I didn't expect. I really didn't. I mean, we've seen this whole season hasn't gone our way, so I was just waiting for the other shoe to drop. My mother-in-law was texting me because apparently my father-in-law was going crazy, and she's like, I can't believe he's so mad right now. And I was like, I don't know what you expected. Like I would be mad, but this was very predictable. And then they kicked the field goal, and then she texts me back. She's like, he's going crazy. I'm like, yeah, I'm going crazy too. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, good times. But happy we won our Super Bowl. I mean, it is what it is. We won our Super Bowl, and we'll talk a little bit of Bears. But guys, I hope you had a great weekend. I had just a little quick story to share. Like last week we talked about my mega viral tweet that I did about when I live tweeted a couple's first date.
Okay.
And the other night we were out to dinner, and it almost happened again. We were seated next to a couple at dinner, and tables were very close, so very easy hearing conversations. But they weren't on a date. They were just friends, but they were like trading like dating war stories. Like why this guy was ghosting her and why this girl was, not calling. Like it was just crazy. Like all these people that these two were going out with, and how like, I'm gonna say this. My wife had to stop me from live tweeting it. She's like, "Don't do it."
Thank you, Sarah. I'm gonna thank you right now. Hopefully, she's in the comment. You can't be doing this every week. You go out, dude. At this point, you're just a nosy motherfucker. Like you got to start wearing headphones to dinner or something. We can't be having you eavesdropping every which way.
Yeah, but I will say though that I am so happy that I found my wife pre-COVID, because I don't think I would have been able to survive post-COVID dating, man. Like that's just the way those two were interacting. Like it's horrifying out there for the singles, man. Like I don't know how anyone, can handle it nowadays, but apparently there's a lot of ghosting, and there's a lot of people who just are emotionally unavailable, and they don't want people coming over to their house, and they don't understand why people don't want to see them, and they don't want to, catch feelings. And if they catch feelings, that's bad. And no, I don't like that. It's a whole lot of hypocritical stuff. But I'm so happy I didn't have to survive. I don't have to worry about dating anymore, man, because that they scared the hell out of me.
Yeah, I've got nothing to add to that because I have been out of the dating pool for the better part of 2 decades. So yeah, no, I don't think anybody would know how to act in that situation. I will say though, I barely care about your guys' personal lives. I don't give a fuck about a stranger's life. I know it was interesting, and I know the tweets, I mean, they went super viral. But oh my God, if I had to talk about someone else's, like a stranger, no thank you.
Wait, hold on. So Jason, is it now going to be something where every time you go to a restaurant, it's going to be like, you're going to be like a
who's
dog
around?
Like, who's around? So I can hear their conversation.
It just happened like 2 weeks in a row. Like, just get like seated or, like placed next to, people who were on dates or talking about dating. And then the funny thing is though, Peter, before you, like we were there for about a good, like 90 minutes. The conversation not once transition to anything else but like dating war horror stories. Not like how's your family, how's work, what you've been up to. It was all about, well, this guy this guy that, this guy this, and this girl, and then this guy, and then this girl, and then it was like, holy shit, like it was never ending.
Yeah.
Well, every conversation is going to be different.
What I'm realizing is maybe you're just obviously, you and Sarah are going to like trendy and like, hip and happening places that like people are going for first dates, because this ain't happening at the Denny's or the local IHOP or me and Julie are going to El Gallo.
Gallo,
Yeah, this is not
Gallo.
happening there.
Yeah. So did not live tweet that one, but that would have been actually probably more entertaining because and I'd love to get a woman's opinion on this too, but I think this is a red flag personally. But the lovely lady who was sitting next to us, she said that she doesn't have guys come back to her apartment, and I think that's a red flag. If I was single and been like
no,
she's like, oh no, I don't bring guys home, because I would be like, wait, what are you hiding? You got like you're dirty, like you have a million cats, like you have an ex-boyfriend or boyfriend like living with you or something. Like, what are you hiding? Like, I think that's kind of a red flag, but I don't know. Maybe in 2025,
you gotta think of it this way. It's probably, I guess not. I was gonna say it's probably safer. You don't want people knowing where you live. I'd rather play road games, if you know what I mean.
Okay, I get that, but
now, are you saying, Jason? Are you saying on the first date that it's a red flag
no,
to you?
I'm not saying first date.
Okay.
Apparently, from what I was hearing from this story, this girl like hooked up with this guy a few times, and they've went out before, but she doesn't ever have guys back at her apartment. And
yeah, I think that's fairly reasonable for nowadays, or like
Okay. I think that's probably.
Julie says that I have the hot gossip and never share and doesn't care. It's so unfair. It's true. It's because I'm not a snitch.
Well, that rhymes. It was like a cat in a hat type of thing going on over there.
I ain't no snitch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess times have changed. Who knows?
Yeah.
Once again, not my problem.
Yeah. All right. So, but we got bigger fish to fry, right? Because we got Friday, guys. Friday is 5 days away, and we have our next watch party live at the Ramova Loft. It's going to be a great time. Blackhawks, Red Wings, 6 p.m. And we also have a $25 Blackhawks party package you can add on to that. That gives you 12-ounce craft beer pours from puck drop to 1 hour after. That's like a 3.5-hour package, my man. Like, you can't beat that. That's the best deal you're going to find in the city if you want to have a nice Friday happy hour. We got Jefferson's Bourbon pouring some stuff. We're going to be doing a ticket giveaway. We're giving away a pair of Blackhawks tickets. So you can't miss that. It's free with RSVP. Optional $25 package, so feel free to add that on. We thank you everyone who's RSVP'd so far. And Peter, you just got some news today from our good friend Chris.
Free parking too. So there's a big parking lot, holds about 90 to 100 cars across the street. They're gonna have the Spot Hero turned off for that night. So all of the you don't have to park in the city with the meters and do the Pay Chicago app and all that. Just go there, park in the parking lot, free parking, and then walk right in. It's a free parking event, free event to get in. What more? It's a good Friday night.
You can't beat it. You can't beat it at all.
So shout out Ramova for doing that. Appreciate it.
Yep. So once again, thank you for everyone who's RSVP'd. We'll see you all on Friday. If you have already RSVP'd and you want to add on the party package, you have to go back to the link. It's pinned in our Twitter page and go add it on optionally. It's like I said, it's the best deal you can probably get. All right, real quick super chat from Gordo. It says, cheers to Santos not pulling a baloney and missing the field goal. Damn, man.
Dude, his noodle leg, I thought 51 yards. There was no chance that was going in. Credit to him. He piped that thing.
Also, I'm back on water. I had a couple nice 2-3 weeks of having some drinks in the pod, but it's time to detox a little. I'm not going dry January. I'm going dry-ish, so I will be drinking Friday at the Ramova, but I'm taking a couple days off.
I am also not drinking. I got a water and a cherry Coke. Look at us being responsible.
Hell no, I'm drinking.
You know what? We're gonna start talking Bears. I might turn around and grab a bourbon for the Bears.
Come on. What the hell?
But for now,
before we talk Bears and bourbon, we gotta get to some quick headlines here. So first off, it got announced that the Blackhawks Winter Classic game was the least watched Winter Classic of all time, only drawing 920,000 viewers on TNT and True. And I'm like, just right? I'm shocked that that's the lowest rated when you put it at the worst fucking time slot with two teams who are garbage. But having the Winter Classic at 4 p.m. on New Year's Eve was just a bad business decision from a rating standpoint. And I don't know what they expected from it, to be honest. NHL really screwed it on that.
Yeah, changing the time was bad. People were getting ready. People were, running errands or getting ready to host a party. We had family over, so like I'm running the jewels. I watched most of the game, but a lot of it did have to do with something we talked about before. The Blackhawks are the worst team in hockey, and the Blues are barely any better than that. A lot of the like national discourse, at least online, I think a lot of people just have Blackhawks fatigue. They probably should have waited a couple more years until this rebuild, if this rebuild really turned on. I think the NHL wants to shove Bedard on everyone's face, and rightfully so. He's the face of the Blackhawks, but they're still a ways away. They're a bad hockey team, and a bad hockey team with a bad product. Now, I'm saying this as someone that's hosting a watch party on Friday, and it's still going to be fun, and it's still going to be awesome, and the beers are going to be great, and the people there are going to make it. But the Blackhawks stink, man. So it's like, who's going to watch that game on New Year's Eve?
On Friday, we'll watch the game, though.
Yes,
Friday's
on Friday we'll
Friday's
watch.
going to be a good game.
Friday's going to be a good one.
Patrick Kane, and
yeah, I mean, like Friday 4 p. or I shouldn't say Friday, but 4 p.m. on New Year's Eve. You got people who are taking naps before they're going out. You got people who are getting ready. You got people who are checking into their hotels and everything if they're doing like a New Year's Eve party or something like that. Like, that's just a bad time to put a game on. Like, if you wanted to make it New Year's Eve, you could at least made it like 7 o'clock or something, make it a little more prime time. But like afternoon on New Year's Eve, just bad all around. So hopefully the NHL learn from that and they'll go back to the regular New Year's Day schedule and not be scared of college football. Gary Bettman, little bitch. But yeah, not surprised on that. Okay, let's get to some more news because it got announced that Derrick Rose is getting his number retired, and that sent off a lot of hard feelings on the interwebs over the week. A lot of pros and a lot of cons on it. I think, like I was on the side of I didn't believe his number should be retired, but I'm okay with it. Like his number being up there was, I'm not going to go all pissy about it, but I'm happy that he's going to get Chicago boy, going to get his number retired. So that'll happen sometime next year or next season.
Yeah, next season they announced. Gordo had a great tweet. Realistically, they should have done it the night that they honored him. It was 1/6/25, and he wore all three of those numbers. He wore 1 with the Bulls, 6 with the Knicks, and 25 at Simeon. It made sense to just do it then. But yeah, they want to announce it and drag it out for a year because obviously they're going to draw for that game and, the pomp and circumstance and all that. But I don't think I'm not as mad as other people. There are some people mad online about Derrick Rose's jersey going into the rafters. There's only like 3 jerseys in the rafters for the Bulls right now. And if it's not Derrick Rose, it's going to be another 2 decades before you retire a jersey. If it's not him, it's going to be nobody for 30 years. So you might as well do it. He was an MVP, the youngest MVP. He was a part of some really good teams. Granted, one of my complaints about this ceremony and basically any ceremony that's been around for the Chicago teams of late is that we're celebrating guys that are rightfully celebrated, right? Derrick Rose. We talked about this with the Chris Chelios ceremony. That was awesome by the Blackhawks. But we're celebrating a bunch of dudes that never won championships because the city just doesn't win championships. I'm tired of celebrating individuals. Give me a team that's not the 05 White Sox or the 85 Bears. I mean, I hate to say it. It's a loser city. Like, it's tough. I'm not taking away anything from Derrick Rose's accomplishments, but it's sad that this is what we have. All we have is nostalgia, and all we have is now I feel like, like an old man back in my day, we had, and it's not even back in my day. He never won a championship either.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple reasons why they even did this too. I mean, he's a Chicago born, player. I tweeted it out there on Saturday when this was happening. And I just feel that, the way that he came up, I know you've seen the video montages of him, how he started at Simeon and all that, and worked his way, Memphis as well too. He was only there for 1 year. But I mean, he's had accolades. I mean, he was the youngest MVP ever. Yes, he did not win a championship. Yes, there was a lot of what ifs, if he didn't get hurt, where the Bulls would have been. Would they have been championship team if he would have still stayed? We don't know, you know what I'm saying? But he was a very dominant player, when he came up. I mean, there was a lot of people that saying that when he was on the court, he was doing a lot of explosive things for his height. He was only 6'3". So what he was doing against like a lot of like top tier talent that were much bigger than him, who could try to defend him, it was very hard to defend him because he was a street baller. He knew how to do everything, and it's just the problem is that, he, like I said, it was unfortunate that he got hurt, and it sucks because you don't know how much longer he would have been a Bull. Obviously, he went to the Knicks and the Wolves and all that, and he had a little bit of success there. But I just think that it is well deserved that he does get his jersey retired. I didn't think 2 seconds that it wouldn't not got retired. I think it's because of the MVP accolades. I think because he was a rookie of the year. Yes. He's had a lot of, he was the face of the franchise at one point, and he was surrounded by a lot of great or a lot of good players around him. That, he took us to the Eastern Conference Finals, against the Heat. But yeah, a lot of people, and I'm going to, talk about a little bit later about how people are a little bit pissed off that his number's going to be, lifted up on there come, next season. I just think it's you have your opinions and all that. I totally get that, but some of them were a little bit, wacko.
Off the wall.
Off the wall, yeah.
You got to also just get pissed off at Garpax for not being able to put a complete team around him at that time. I mean, there were very good teams, but they never got that player or made that
we want to say they were good teams. They were fine. I mean, Luol Deng and Joakim Noah, they were fun to watch. That team was fun to watch. I'll give you that much. It was like appointment television. But we don't know they would have won a championship. They had LeBron in the way, and at that point, LeBron was young LeBron. We don't know. It's a lot of what ifs. But that being said, I still think he deserves his number to be retired.
Yeah. Quick super chat from Little Yumper. Salute. Cheers, guys. Cheers. Thank you.
Salute, Yump.
Yeah. Says Garpax did try. LeBron didn't come and wait. Yeah, I know about the whole Miami thing. I'm talking about after all that when they built the team.
They courted them. They courted a couple people at that time.
They just never were able to. Yeah, and that's
there
just
was
a
a
testament
time
on.
where we thought people would sign with the Bulls. Now we've learned ain't nobody ever signing with the Bulls.
No. All right. And our final headline real quick.
This is something you wanted to talk about, right?
Yeah, this one upset me very much. The Surgeon General says he wants to put a label on drinks to warn Americans of alcohol's cancer risk. Apparently, a report came out that alcohol can cause 7 different types of cancer. And I already know that it's going to, maybe give me some fatty liver disease, bloated gut. I don't need to know about 7 different types of cancers when I'm looking at my bottle, man. This is, I wasn't gonna bum this guy, but I feel like this is egregious, man. I know it's bad for me. You don't need to remind me every time I pick up a beer, I buy a bottle that I can have 7 different types of cancer.
Yeah, we know it's poison. It's basically like the old school Tom and Jerry cartoons when they pick up a bottle and it's got skulls and crossbones and it's like they're drinking whiskey. We know that already. But yeah, this guy's trying to make booze look like a carton of cigarettes in different countries. Have you ever seen a pack of cigarettes in Mexico or in Europe or everything? Where it's got pictures of people's teeth falling out and people dying. I was like, that's not gonna stop me from buying a bottle of Weller, my man. Are you kidding me?
When I was years ago, when I was in Barcelona, my buddy bought a pack of cigarettes, and the warning on there when it got translated says that smoking cigarettes can lower sperm count in men. And I'm like, well, I guess that's a good deterrent. It's not going to be lung cancer. It's going to be like, oh, your boys, you got no more boys if you keep smoking.
Like Jason never wanted kids. You're just ripping darts. You're ripping darts is like
smoking 2 packs a day. Who needs condoms? I'm just gonna smoke them.
Marlboro Reds got me.
But yeah, I don't know if that's gonna go over well with people. I mean, what cancers are I guess I should say what doesn't give you cancer nowadays, right? I mean, like it seems like every little thing, every time there's an article that comes out, like this can cause cancer, this can cause cancer. Now all of a sudden, alcohol has 7 different types of cancers, man. Like, it's too much, man. Maybe instead of like telling us what is gonna cause cancer, maybe we go to the root cause and try to eliminate some of that shit, all the fucking dyes and the microplastics and all this shit. Like, maybe we start there. Then I can worry about having my bottle that's going to give me 7 different types of cancer.
I mean, even if they do pass whatever this bozo's trying to pass, the Bourbon Bums videos ain't going to mention any of that. And you can watch both of those 2 times a week. We're doing Bourbon Bums videos courtesy of Green Valley Wine and Spirits, Bolingbrook, Illinois.
Yep. All right. Oh, yeah. Big water scam. Yeah. All right. Let's get some Bears talk before we get into our tournament of bumps here. Okay, like I said, we did it. We beat Green Bay, but that was good. Happy we did that. We did lose a spot in the draft. If we lost, we would have had the 8th pick. We went down to 10, but we said, Peter, we don't care about that, right? We won. No. We won it. We're happy. Good. But today was Black Monday. So a lot of coaches. I didn't think as many coaches got fired as I thought there was going to be.
There's 5 vacancies right now. There's 5 vacancies in the NFL. Sometimes I remember a couple Black Mondays. There are like 9-10 vacancies. They're like almost a third of the league had no coaches come Black Monday. So it wasn't as bad as I thought, but there was some big news and some news that might eliminate somebody that was in contention for the Bears. I'm talking about the Patriots relieving their coach. It seems like it only makes sense for Mike Vrabel to go there. But yeah, man, I feel like every time I picked up the phone today, and we're in a couple group chats, whether it's Bears or, with the Penguins, every time I picked up the phone, the Bears are requesting to talk to somebody. It's like they're speed dating through the NFL, and they're just like at a table and they're going to have 15 dudes courting them, or they're going to be courting them. It's crazy. I got the list if you want it now.
Yeah, let's break down the list here because some of these we talked about in our coaching wants, but most of the time though, like some of these were new names to our list. Some of these are downright scary. I'm not going to lie.
So I'm looking at it now. I got damn near 10 guys right now. Some of them were people we expected. Others are, like you mentioned, off the wall. So just a quick yes or no if you're interested in this, so-called interview process. Ravens offensive coordinator Todd Monken.
Yeah, I think it's a decent interview.
Yes.
Ravens always been good on offense, and how much is it? No, sorry, I was gonna say like how much of that offense is Lamar, versus what he's installed. But Ravens always had a pretty decent offense, so yeah.
Yeah, and it's something that, like, he's been successful for a long period of time, but when Lamar Jackson is winning 3 MVPs, how much of that, like you mentioned, is Lamar? Like we saw it with Brian Daboll and Josh Allen. Once Brian Daboll left and he's left with Danny Dimes, it was a bad fit, Second one scares the hell out of me. It's Mike McCarthy.
No,
it's
absolutely
crazy.
Not. I mean, the fact that they say like, yeah, he has a same record or same like resume as like Mike Tomlin, and he beat the Packers when he was the Packers, he beat the Bears all the time. But like, I see what he done with like Dallas had like good teams, like with Dak and now with CeeDee Lamb, and when they had Zeke, and they never got anything done. They always collapse. He had bad time management, just bad game management. Like, no, I don't want Mike McCarthy. That scares the hell out of me.
Mike McCarthy has done less with more than just about anybody. I mean, he had Aaron Rodgers for damn near a decade, and they won 1 Super Bowl. And that offense was really good at that time. He went to Dallas. Dallas had really good teams with a lot of weapons. They couldn't do anything there. it scares me that like this sounds like something the Bears would be like, we remember Mike McCarthy. This is someone that builds a program. We're like, no, thank you.
I love that Skip Bayless was like, sorry, Bears, like Mike McCarthy's not going anywhere. He's like, good, because you could keep his ass. It's not like we're talking about Andy Reid over here. Like, geez.
I think Skip Bayless got a little more problems. About where Mike McCarthy's going.
Yeah,
no, I know. We're not
next one up is Brian Flores. And that's someone we thought about in go ahead. As in another coaching hire, if it wasn't this coaching hire with a second year Caleb Williams and everything else, I think Brian Flores would be a fine Bears coach. You know, he'll get that defense ramped up. But in this particular juncture where we are at, I don't want any defensive coordinator, to tell you the truth. I don't care how much of a leader of men he is. I don't care how successful he is. The thing that worries me about a defensive coordinator is then he's going to have to find another offensive coordinator, you know, the next big thing. And even if that is successful, then he's going to get hired somewhere else as a head coach. And then you're back to square one, right? Like
that's why I don't want any defensive guy.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I need an offensive coordinator that's going to stick here and be here for the next 6, 7, 8 years.
I kind of feel like it's a lot more, I would say, easier to find a defensive coordinator than, you know how we've been hiring nothing but defensive coordinators, and finally, like with Matt Nagy and we've had like offensive coordinators, but that didn't pan out. But I just feel like you could find a defensive coordinator a lot quicker and better than trying to find the offensive coordinator or a head coach. Like, this is why I want the change of, like, obviously we're going to talk a little bit more, but like a Ben Johnson and all that.
All right. Next one is former Falcons head coach, now Steelers offensive coordinator, Arthur Smith.
I mean,
no.
I'm going to say no right away.
Yeah.
I watched enough of those games to know I'm not interested in anything he's selling.
Yeah, especially when he was with the Falcons too. When he was the coach of the Falcons, they didn't do shit either.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's a good offensive coordinator. He's in the boat of like Mike McCarthy, where it's like, all right, actually, that's probably an indictment on Mike McCarthy. I think he's worse than Mike McCarthy. So I'm not interested in Arthur Smith.
No.
This one came out of nowhere, and I know he's a local boy. Giants offensive coordinator Mike Kafka.
No,
absolutely no,
right?
Yeah. Giants are terrible. I did hear though that the reason why he's getting interviewed because him and Poles worked together in KC for 5 years.
No, thank you. Nobody from St. Rita, right? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Yumper's there.
Yeah, he was from St. Rita.
Yeah, no. Yeah, St. Rita. All right. So we said no defensive coordinators. Lions defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn, who called a hell of a game yesterday against the Vikings. I don't know if you guys watched that game, but as much as we love Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn on the defensive side of the ball has that team buzzing just as well.
Can he steal a copy of Ben Johnson's playbook and then come to the Bears?
Can we bring both of them and say co-head coaches, like a two-headed monster?
Yeah, I don't think I would mind that one. I think that's probably a good interview.
All right, two other random ones. Arizona Cardinals offensive coordinator Drew Petznig and Dolphins defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver.
No to both.
Yeah. The last two ones on here are Denver's defensive coordinator Vance Joseph and former Stanford coach David Shaw. This one I saw like 2 hours ago. I'm like, no, we're just interviewing anybody. It's crazy that like not interested.
I mean, is Poles trying to like sharpen his interview skills with some of these like unknown people? That's the only reason why I can think of why he's doing this. He's trying to get himself spiked up for the Ben Johnson interview.
That's what I was thinking. It's almost like your 3-point contest, Jason, where like before you were actual 3-point contest, you were chucking up threes at Lifetime Fitness or wherever you were going to, and you got to be ready for this, the main show. That's the only thing I could think of. I was like, let me interview these 12 guys and ask them, hey, how do you think we could sign Ben Johnson? And then just take notes. Because what's the other reason? So that's what's crazy. They did say that they have a Zoom, or Ben Johnson will do a Zoom interview this week with them as like a preliminary, interview. But the two guys we talked about a couple of episodes ago, when they first fired Eberflus, and we thought, if it's not Ben Johnson, it might be some of these other guys, was Joe Brady and Liam Cohen. And they haven't, out of all these names that they've interviewed, the two guys that I would want other than Ben Johnson, they're not even on the market, or they haven't even asked them yet. And I'm like, that's crazy.
Vrabel's coming in too, but it sounds like he's going to go to the Patriots. So, I mean, that's basically cross him off the list.
So I don't know what the Bears front office are doing. Obviously, we're going to have to wait and see. And this is going to be a long, drawn-out process. So it's like we just got to be ready to be talking about these bozos for the better part of a month, right? Like it's going to be, they might, leak some stuff here or there. But if we're really head like down and going after Ben Johnson, it's not going to be till after the Super Bowl, I'm thinking. If not, maybe, NFC
I mean,
Championship.
Now you kind of hope that the Lions get eliminated in 2 weeks. And
selfishly, yes, I want the Lions eliminated as soon as possible so that we could start, really going after Ben Johnson.
Yeah. No, and also I guess it kind of works in our favor that the Jaguars, being dumbasses, like they fired Doug Peterson, but then they kept their GM.
Well, that's the same thing we're doing.
Balker would. Yeah, but apparently he's a lot worse than Ryan Poles.
Well, yeah, Trent Baalke.
Yeah, Trent Baalke. Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing that's going on with the Indianapolis Colts as well too, with them keeping the general manager and the coach as well too. So
yeah,
a lot of stupid things that are going around.
The Giants not even. The Giants is having the season that they had, and the owner being like, "Let's run it back."
Is Yump breaking news right now, or is he just speculating that Matt Nagy's going to the Jets?
Yeah, I saw a lot of people talking about how now that they fired the New England coach, that now New England is the #1 destination for any, upcoming coach. And I thought like the only reason they did that was to go after Mike Vrabel. I don't think I'm worried about Ben Johnson going to, the Patriots or even the Jets. The Jets are a mess. The only other team that might be scary is Shad Khan and the Jacksonville Jaguars because, they got a decent roster and they got all the money in the world. Like you might not, they might be just as dysfunctional as the Bears, but at least they spend money. Like the Khan family will spend as much money as they want, on Ben Johnson. They might back up the truck on him.
Yeah, they better. And apparently he wants a 6-year deal too, according to his agent. So
give it to him. I don't care. It's not my money.
Not my money either.
I forgot to tell you guys that I'm also interviewing for the Bears head coaching position
that would be good. You're a good special teams guy. That would be
also
good.
Happy to see that Sears Tower is back.
Yeah, Sears Tower was.
It's Mr. Today. I thought it was Mr. Sears Tower or
Mr. Tower
or Mr. Tower.
Technically, it's Sear Tower. His handle is SEAR Tower, not Sears. It's weird.
Yeah,
but I love him. He's my guy.
Yep. All right. What we got next, Peter? We got
well, I mean, now that the season's over, we got, the draft positions are set. The Bears are drafting, 3 picks in the top 41, and then they got 4 picks in the first 3 rounds. I think we've all, said previously that it's O-line, D-line, or O-line, D-line, D-line, but all 4 of those picks, I don't care about best available player. I don't care about if it's someone that drops and it's like, oh, you got to pick them up. I think it's got to be O-line and D-line for at least the first 4 picks, but who knows? But I mean, they're in good position, both salary cap wise and now with these draft picks. It could have been the number 7 pick, and then it could have been the number 9 pick. I'm happy with that. It's fine.
I'm assuming that, are we all in agreement that if come number 10, we want that best offensive lineman out there?
Yeah. So we talked about mock drafts and doing like the way too early mock drafts a couple weeks ago, Jason. And now that we are set in this position, I, got the Tinkathon and did a couple mocks. It seems like the best available offensive linemen are all going. Now you're not going to want to hear this. 6 and 7. so we could have had one of the 2 best offensive linemen, but now it might not be. It might have to be the.
Well, you know what? I actually maybe we can get the beer goggles on guys. Get Robin Justin on here because I actually want to do some mock drafts, and I want to talk salary cap, as well as who you think the Bears are gonna
Yeah, free agency
release.
is a big thing.
Who are they gonna release? Who are they gonna not resign? Obviously, Tevin Jenkins is a free agent. They're not gonna bring him back. So.
I was about to ask, did you see his quotes today? Tevin
Yeah,
Jenkins thinking about wanting. I'm like,
I don't want to back. I don't want to back.
Read the room, motherfucker. You played like 60% of like your entire career here because you were always on the injury list. And now it's like, oh, maybe I want a fresh start and this and that. And like, maybe I need to look ahead. Get the fuck out of here, dude. If I'm Ryan Poles and you see that quote, there's no chance you resign that motherfucker.
Nope. They need four starting linemen. You got Darnell Wright coming back, and that's it.
Yeah. All right. So this is a good thing because man, I didn't have the slide, but I ended up doing, those charts that I always like with all the dots and like everything else. Darnell Wright ended up having a really good offensive year, believe it or not, as offensive tackles. I think he's here to stay. Braxton Jones isn't as bad as people think. You realistically need 3 new starters, but with depth, they have no depth. You need a couple swing guys. So I think you could get away with 2 starters coming back, but then center and everyone on the interior has to be done, including bench players.
Yeah. No, because Yump says as a backup, isn't Jenkins a better pickup? First off, he's going to want starter money, and second, if your backup is hurt is a lot too, then you're using your third string guy.
Yeah, it's going to end up being Ryan Bates all over again.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you gotta cut bait, and it just goes back to a long list of first round draft picks that the Bears take that guys just can't stay healthy when they draft offensive linemen, and it's sad. It's the Kyle Long was great, but he couldn't stay healthy. Mark Colombo, remember him? That's a name.
What was that? Chris? What am I thinking of? Chris?
Yeah, like Notre Dame or something.
Yump's gonna tell me who it is. Either way,
it's a Chris guy. Yeah. All right. So yeah, we'll set it up sometime in January. We'll do some mock drafts as well as a salary cap breakdown. And then real quick before we wrap up Bears talk here, we got pull it up, Peter, the schedule here. 20-25 opponents. Pretty tough schedule if you're looking at it on paper. Chris Williams, thank you, Sam. That's what I was thinking.
Thank you.
Yeah.
King ass. In clutch.
But yeah, pretty tough schedule. Cowboys, Giants, maybe not them. But Browns, maybe not them. But Steelers and Saints. And then you got Ravens, tough. Bengals, tough. Eagles, tough. Commanders, tough. Niners, tough. Raiders, It's a tough schedule on paper next year.
This is what I've come to realize now that, we drank the Kool-Aid last year, and now I'm kind of sobering up from that damn Kool-Aid. And no schedule is easy when you're a bottom 5 team in the league, and we've been a bottom 5 team for the better part of a decade now, where you could look at the Browns, not that bad. The Browns we are the Browns. It's the same thing. It's like looking at a mirror. So it's like none of these teams we could realistically be like, oh yeah, this is a cakewalk. This is an easy one. I don't care about the Saints. They could lose against the Saints. They could lose against the Giants. So yeah, this schedule, it is tough. They got a lot of good teams on the schedule, but even the cakewalks, you never know, dude. But I more wanted to ask you guys, obviously, the home games are the home games. Road trip, maybe Vegas, anywhere else you're thinking of?
Yeah, I would say if it's not Vegas, Cincy.
Cincy?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you don't really want to go to Baltimore. Philly, I've never really been interested in. Maybe
Philadelphia, so you get batteries thrown at you.
Yeah, batteries thrown at you. Yeah, I think it's obviously the Raiders, the Vegas game would be awesome to go to. And then, we got that home game lingering with the Steelers. I know Julie's watching. We do it every time they come. Whenever the Bears play the Steelers, whether it's at Pittsburgh or here, we're going to be there. We got a bunch of people DMing us and tweeting at us like, oh, did you see the schedule? We know, man. We're aware.
Yeah, you guys been together for 20 years. You guys know how the Bears Steelers go.
Yeah. Who knows?
Man,
maybe
I feel looking at that schedule,
Fields.
It's going to be like another 4-11 or.
No, not with Ben Johnson at the helm, Johnny. Ben Johnson's going to have this team rocking and rolling.
We'll see.
Yep. All right.
Yep.
We got one last thing to do. Sorry, I forgot it. Let's give our quick playoff predictions. Playoff start Saturday, wild card weekend. Let's just go consensus for these matchups here. Vikings, Rams. I'm going Vikings.
I don't know, man. That Vikings thing looked kind of like
Yeah, I think I'm going Rams at home. I
I'm
really
gonna be
do think.
yeah.
A lot of people are saying Sam Darnold turned into a pumpkin. I think he's still fine, and I think the coach will get him ready to play. It's more about like if he has time. I think the Lions showed the blueprint. If like you pressure him just a little bit, and I think the Rams have that. I think I'm going with. I don't even know. It's crazy to say it's the upset because the Vikings won 13 games, but I think I'm going Rams with this.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go with the Rams on that.
Washington and Tampa Bay. I think I got to go Washington on this.
Johnny,
going upset.
I'm going Baker.
I think I'm gonna stick with Tampa Bay.
Baker, low key, and maybe it's high key. I just didn't realize until like halfway through the season. He had a hell of a regular season. That offense is awesome. That's another reason why Liam Cohen, the offensive coordinator, should be on the Bears' radar, even though they haven't asked him to. But I think them being at home and Baker doing what he's doing, I think it's the Bucks.
Bucky Irving, man.
Yeah, Bucky Irving's awesome. He came out of nowhere too.
Green Bay, Philly. Obviously, all Philly.
Yeah,
Packers. Packers. Jordan Love sucks. He's not that good.
Yeah.
Okay. Then on the AFC side, we got Chargers, Texans. I'm going Chargers because Harbaugh's going to have that team ready.
Yeah, I think with the Texans, kind of like CJ Stroud is having that sophomore season, and I just feel like the Chargers are kind of like the hot team right now, going into the playoffs. So, and like I said, Jason, it's Jim Harbaugh. I mean, I don't think I'll put my money on Chargers right now.
I'll say right here, Caleb Williams had a better year than CJ Stroud. Like if you put them side by side, like
20 yards.
Caleb Williams had a better year than CJ Stroud. Yeah, I think it's the Chargers too, Johnny.
Up next, Steelers and Ravens. I got to go Ravens at home. Steelers just reeling, on the streak and everything.
I will have to abstain from this vote.
I figured.
I will also not say anything either. Because
Johnny's
smart.
Because
throw me to the
because
make me seem like the asshole here.
No. It's that's a PTSD from that Super Bowl when it was
Julie yelled.
What's in the steel? Yeah, when she yelled at me. So I'm not saying anything.
The Steelers Cardinals Super Bowl. For some reason, Johnny just wanted a good game, and the Cardinals scored a touchdown. He's like, yeah. And you got the death stare that I would never want to. I mean, I've seen it before, but no, thank you. So yeah, I'm abstaining. But to tell you the truth, I mean, all right. So everyone thinks the Ravens are going to win. They got the MVP. They're a really good team. AFC North matchups. Anything could happen. Anything could happen in this game. We've seen it time and time again. So you never know.
Yep. And then finally, Broncos and Bills. Bills.
Yeah. I think it's Bills easy. So then we reseed. So who do we got going forward?
So then it would be Chargers and KC. So I got KC on that one. Just KC at home. You would have Ravens versus the Bills, which is going to be probably the game of the playoffs, if you ask me.
Awesome game.
Josh Allen just doing that's too much. I think that's going to be Josh Allen. We'll get the rematch.
I'm going to go a little bit different on that Chargers KC. I think the Chargers can beat Kansas City. The Kansas City, yes, they've won all these games. I get that, but I feel like a good coach. The Chargers are hot right now. I feel like that they can upset the Chiefs. So I would go. My pick personally would go Chargers on that.
Yeah, I think Kansas City will get upset during the playoffs. I think it's going to come from the winner of the Ravens and the Bills. I think they have enough experience to figure out how to beat the Chargers, and the Chargers, even with Harbaugh, are a year or two off from really being really good. So I think the Chiefs, with the bye, Andy Reid off a bye, like I think his record is unbelievable. So they'll figure out a way to beat the Chiefs or the Texans, whoever. But I think the Ravens and the Bills are going to beat the Chiefs. So it's going to be Bills or Ravens for the AFC. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think Bills and Ravens. I think I'm going Josh Allen on that one.
I'm going to be going Bills all the way to go to the Super Bowl. I think it's finally
Okay.
time that he gets to that point. It's been a long time coming. Feels like Jim Kelly of the 90s where they just kept on going to the Super Bowl, couldn't win the Super Bowl. And I feel like this will be the time that he finally gets to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Same.
All right. So then on the NFC side, so then we would have the reseeding would be okay. So it would be the Rams if that's how we're going. So Rams versus Detroit. I think Detroit obviously gets that, and then Tampa Bay versus the Eagles. I think
Eagles,
as long as
I got
as long as Jalen Hurts can stay healthy, I think Eagles take that against.
I think the Lions and the Eagles are the two best teams in the NFC, and I don't think anybody else besides maybe the Vikings that we have losing in the first round. I don't think they could beat them. So I think it's going to be either the Eagles or the Lions. I think the Eagles. I've said it all along. I think the Lions are the best team, but Dan Campbell does some Dan Campbell shit, and he started doing it against the Vikings, and it bit him in the ass last postseason, and he can't help himself. He's going to do it again, and I think the Eagles are going to benefit from that. So I got the Eagles going to the Super Bowl.
So Eagles Bills Super Bowl. I wouldn't mind that.
Johnny?
Yeah, I think the way that Detroit's defense is playing right now without Aiden Hutchinson is still incredible to me. But it's just like Jalen Hurts is just like he goes on another level when it comes to the playoffs, and that team too. That Philly defense is no joke either. I mean, that front
Philly
that
secondary is awesome. That whole defense.
Yes, it's just they'll put pressure on you, they'll sack you. They're dangerous. So I it's hard. I probably would say I'm gonna go slight edge on Detroit. But I just think in my pick all the way, I think the Bills are gonna finally win the Super Bowl.
So you got the Bills winning?
Yes.
Jason, right. You got?
Yeah, I'll take Bills too.
Shit. All right, then I'll go Eagles just to be contrarian.
All right. So those are our NFL playoff predictions. And that's all the sports talk we got, because now we're going to pay some bills and we're going to get into the good stuff.
Get the good stuff. Yeah. Forget sports for 15 minutes.
This is terrible shit.
The original Chickies Beef and Banquet is a proud sponsor of the BumCast. Next time you're craving something absolutely delicious, you have to order pizza from Chickies Beef. It is the ultimate food hack, and trust us, the bums know a thing or two about good pizza. Make sure you check out their pizza specials. Get one jumbo slice with a drink for just $8.50 every day of the week. And every Monday, while you're gearing up to watch the BumCast, get a large 16-inch pan or thin crust pizza for just $16.95. That includes 2 free toppings as well. For dine-in, carry-out, drive-thru, and delivery, it's Chickies Beef, 4152 Roosevelt Road in Hillside, or find them on the web at www.chickiesbeef.com. All right, it is time once again, our favorite time of the year, everyone. It's our bracket reveal for our 2024 Tournament of Bums, and there's a teaser on the graphic for who you can expect in some of these brackets. So we got from last year, we have the 4 regions. We have the Bologna region. We have the HBIC region. We have the Southside Bum region. We have the Dougie Fresh region. We got our top 16 that we chose from 2024. We power ranked them. So I'm gonna go. I'll get it started here. Okay, number 1, my number 1 matchup, number 1 seed Cancer versus number 16 Greg Gabriel.
Yeah. So the way we figure this, obviously, like your number 1 seed is obvious. But while we go down these regions, maybe give people a refresher of why number 16 Greg Gabriel is your bum.
Because the guy's just a bitter asshole on Twitter, man.
All right, enough said. That's perfect.
He gets drunk. He lashes out at people, and just people try to call him out on his bullshit, and he's like one of those block, like a block. He's just an old cranky asshole. Number 8, Velus Jones Jr. versus number 9 streaming service price hikes. Obviously, Velus Jones, thank God he was finally gone. He sucked. He muffed too many punts. He couldn't catch. Couldn't do anything right. Obviously, streaming service price hikes. Look, YouTube went up. Netflix goes up, Disney goes up. They all keep going up. I think we're all sick of the price hikes. So, my number 5, Roger Goodell. There's no reason for it. He's just
He's one of these
obvious.
guys. We've done this like what? This is our 3rd or 4th year doing this. Like Goodell's been on each one of the. He's been on each year.
Hey, congratulations to him. Yeah,
evergreen bum.
Yeah, he's been making it.
Against repeat number 12 seed Julie DeCaro. She decided that she was after Deadspin fired her, she got the lawsuit machine ready because she thought that it was discrimination that they fired her. No, you just were terrible at your job.
Agreed.
Number 4, Mosquitoes going up against number 13 seed I-65. Yes, mosquitoes in the summer suck. They bite the fuck out of you. But I-65, I don't know. If you ever driven from Indianapolis up back home from a Bears game,
that was brutal.
It's bad.
Yeah, that was brutal.
One of the worst expressways out there. Number 3 seed CHSN. We all know about our disdain for that booty ass network. Versus number 14 seed the D Wade statue, which we made fun of numerous times. You put on the graphic, Peter. That's just
and this is one of the guys. So, peek behind the curtain. There's been times where multiple bums have people on this graphic or on this tournament. So you and Johnny had the D Wade statue. Both of you guys had it as a nomination. So we have to go with whoever seeded them higher. So in this case, you had them higher than Johnny.
So what I did though is that I think this is where I went wrong, because the same last year was an unveiling of the Allen Iverson statue as well too. So I was putting artists who can't fucking mold faces correctly, and that's what I was going to go with. So maybe I should have put mine as the Allen Iverson statue. Maybe we could have statues go and went head to head and see which one was the really worst one. So
the battle of the bad statues. Maybe just do a bracket of bad statues. The Ronaldo ones out there. There's about a lot of bad ones
out there. It's out there.
Number 6 seed White Sox Pettiness versus number 11 seed United Center. White Sox Pettiness. That was Liam Hendricks. Giolito came back, and the Sox decided to play a clip of Lucas Giolito's no-hitter when he was on the Sox against Pittsburgh. And instead of using Jason Benetti doing the call, they used the Pittsburgh commentary.
I kind of like that pettiness, though. That's pretty good pettiness.
Benetti so much, they didn't even want him doing the Giolito call anymore. So that's some White Sox pettiness. United Center, I mentioned this about their dynamic prices, how they decided to jack up prices when you go to like a concert or a comedy show or something that you're paying $18, $20 beers, and obviously no cup holders for those beers as well. So United Center is my bum on that one. Number 7, Ticketmaster. No explanation needed.
Self-explanatory. Yep.
Versus number 10 seed Joe Cowley. I think if you guys I don't follow him, but I see people retweet, and then I'll read some of the replies. He hates Caleb Williams. There's a lot of Caleb Williams hate on that timeline. That's not justified. I think, obviously he wanted a different quarterback, but he's at, for what Caleb was given, he had a really damn good rookie season. So stick to basketball, dude. No one needs your shitty NFL takes.
I was about to say, isn't he predominantly a basketball writer? Who gives a fuck what he says? Yeah.
Yeah. And number 15 seed TikTok pranksters versus number 2 seed Chris Getz.
Same thing.
Yeah, both.
I mean, Chris Getz just
Spider-Man
pranks. Yeah, there's pranksters in both sides.
Yeah, Chris Getz, no explanation.
I like this.
Cheap and
all right,
not a bad GM. A bad GM.
I'm gonna be honest, Jay. I like a lot of these. It's gonna be hard for your number 1 and number 2 seed not to meet in the final of your region. I think those are 2 heavy favorites.
Yeah. All right. Next region, we got the Southside Bum region, right? All right, Johnny, take it away.
Yeah. So my 1 versus 16. My number 1 no-brainer is the Costco guys.
No-brainer.
I'm tired of their fucking booms, and they're everywhere. The Rizzler is better than the Costco guys. I'm just gonna say that right now.
That's for sure.
And then Cam Newton, his take on baseball. I did it last week. Just for some of his ridiculous takes that he has. So Party City versus the Winter Flu. Obviously, Party City, I mentioned this last week about them laid off a lot of people during the holidays. No, just out of the blue, they just said, "Hey, we're done. We're not giving nothing, no severance packages, no nothing." So, Party City for that. Winter Flu. Obviously, there's a fucking sickness going around. Whether
Are you
it's
down with it?
RSV or I don't know. There's a bunch of something that's going on. I hear people being sick,
Everybody's
coughing,
sick right now.
pneumonia, whatever. Hope everybody gets better. Whoever's sick right now, because I keep on hearing it. I just got off 3 weeks of nonstop coughing. So
Number 9 might make a run, Johnny. You might have a winner with your 9 seed.
yeah. My 5 and 12, Brett Favre, Mark Gastineau. They had a little bit of Mark Gastineau was being pretty much, bitching at Brett Favre for laying down when Michael Strahan came and sacked him for that record that Gastineau had for such a long time, and saying, "I'm going to come get my sack." Like, what are you going to fucking do? Hit him like out of nowhere? You guys are two old people that nobody gives a shit about anymore. So this is terrible. NBA. A lot of things going on with the NBA. My number one thing was that it's a different game now. It's changed. No superstars in that league anymore. Them pretty much pushing LeBron's son Bronny to be part of the league as well too was something that upset me as well too, because there's a lot of other college basketball players that were a lot more talented than Bronny. So I just think that the NBA has kind of lost a lot of that swagger that they used to have. Kenny Smith and SeatGeek. Kenny Smith said of some comments, some sexist comments that didn't go too well. And then SeatGeek, no explanation. They're just fucking terrible.
Ticketmaster, SeatGeek, all those places.
Yeah. Ray-Gun and Lucas Oil Stadium. Obviously, if you didn't go to Lucas Oil Stadium, you weren't with a lot of us, where it took us 45 minutes to find our fucking seats in that maze of a stadium where you sat down. Don't worry. I mean, it was a great spot, but trying to navigate through that whole place, it was like Squid Games, trying to find, it was like up, down. Where
that was the worst, dude. That was,
yeah, it was terrible. And then obviously, Ray-Gun. I'm huge on breakdancing. I'm big on breakdancing, and she completely ruined it. Just a lot of stuff. I mean, Olympics. I don't know if it would really took off if they had actual breakdancers and not what they thought was considered breakdancing. Maybe we would have saw it in 2028 or whenever's the next.
Got rid of it. I think they got rid of it.
They got rid of it. No, they got rid of it because of this crap that was on. This kangaroo dancing that they had going on. Dan Hurley versus the MLB Hall of Fame. Dan Hurley, obviously this guy's a psycho. Don't get me wrong, hell of a coach, back-to-back national championship with Connecticut, but he pouts like a motherfucker, and I can't stand it. And then the MLB Hall of Fame is just a complete catastrophe with who should be in and who shouldn't be in. So you guys be the judge of that. Ed Cooley and Hurricanes. Ed Cooley, obviously this is more of a personal thing for me, with Ed Cooley saying a bunch of shit to the Illini team, because one of the Illini former players he's a Georgetown coach, and was saying things about the Illini is kind of like a shitty team or a shitty program type of thing. So I was kind of more pissed off as a personal level to that. And then Hurricanes, last year with Hurricanes, just terrible. So no explanation on that.
Hurricanes versus the flu. That's gonna be the
Hurricanes are fucking,
yeah, that might be a good matchup.
And then finally, Nick Saban and Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders, just a lot of things that he has. I'm going to go with Nick Saban first, because Nick Saban was bitching about the NIL, how it sucks for college now. And I just think that he's just a little bitter that now that, a lot of sponsors are paying for more players to go to these other colleges, and he's not getting his way anymore. Like these Nick Sabans and these I'm trying to think of other like big name coaches here, but it's just not the same. It's different because NIL is, all these people who are donors are paying. Like, for example, Michigan got one of the best quarterbacks for next season, and a lot of it had to do with Dave Portnoy. Portnoy, sorry, paying for a lot of that stuff. So he helped them get that quarterback.
SEC salty. The SEC salty. They're the only ones that did it for the last decade. Now everyone's catching up.
Yeah, and then Deion Sanders, he's just a goof, man. I mean, just a lot of things that he does. I mean, one of the things that the reason why I bumped him was the fight song band that he had. But it's just a lot of other things as well too. I mean, he thinks that his shit doesn't stink, and I just feel like Colorado is just an average team to me. Like they're no like top team or anything like that. So those are mine. So
all right, I think Hurricanes and Winter Flu is gonna run some tables here, do some upsets.
Yeah. I'm gonna say right now, I think Cam Newton's gonna upset the Costco guys. I know you don't like them, Johnny, but your number one seed, I think they're still popular online. I think Cam Newton's gonna beat them. I think that's my prediction for this.
We'll let them to be the judge of that, okay?
Yeah, you let the voters decide.
The people, yes.
All right, now to the Bologna region.
All right, so this is my region. I had my number one draft pick, if you will. Drake has been catching L's left and right for the better part of all of 2024, whether it be with Kendrick Lamar or them complaining about the lawsuit with Spotify. It was a bad year to be Drake. Even with that leaked photo of that garden hose he was carrying, even that didn't help his L's. So he's my number one seed. He's going up against John Stamos, Uncle Jesse, for putting that ball cap on and, helping or saying he's supporting Dave Coulier in his fight with cancer. And like, if you were really going to do that, shave your head, Uncle Jesse, even though you got that luscious head of hair. You got to shave your head, not just put a freaking swimming cap on.
He's afraid it wasn't growing back, man.
Yeah, what if it doesn't grow back? My number 8 seed is ComEd. They fired the Chicago historian Jay Dilla. He worked there forever, and it was just a bad scene all around. But just ComEd having ComEd on the graphic always plays any of these Chicago utility company. You can never vote against Uncle Jesse. But yeah, I agree.
Ah, shit.
My number 9 seed, that's Jay Cutler. He was bribing the person that he crashed because he had a DUI. He was trying to bribe people, and he tried to bribe them with $5,000. I said, you got to up that number, baby. Cheap ass Jay Cutler.
Did that hurt? Did that hurt having to put him in the tournament, Peter?
I'm a Jay Cutler fan, to tell you the truth. I've been a Jay Cutler fan for a long time, but he's been doing some goofy ass shit online. He's been doing some goofy ass shit online. I think time's caught up with him. So he's going up against John Fisher, the A's owner that, historically bad owner in Major League Baseball. I think that's enough to be said about that. My number 12 seed is the Royal Family again. I don't even remember why I put them on there, but they're always doing some bullshit half backwards kind of stuff against Brandon Johnson, which I'm afraid Brandon Johnson, if it catches the right segment of Twitter.
Oh, you got that backwards, my friend. Royal Family's not up against Brandon Johnson. They are up against John Fisher, but Brandon Johnson going up against I-55 traffic. I'm worried about Brandon Johnson making a run in this tournament if it catches the right side of Twitter. like if we get on Chicago Twitter, he might do some damage in this tournament. But I've got a long-standing rivalry with I-55 traffic. It's one of my pet peeves. I mean, we drive it all the time, Jay. We just hop on 55 and from LaGrange all the way to like California now. It used to be only a pocket of like Harlem to Cicero that was bad. Yep.
Now it's LaGrange all the way to California. It's the whole damn stretch of 55.
I don't get it. I don't get why are so many people driving to the city when I have to drive to the city? They should be staying home while I have to go in to do my things.
Well, hold on. It's the same way if I have to go up to you guys and there's traffic, when I'm going to 55, it goes both ways. Okay. So it's just not just coming to the city. It's also going.
It is when you get from like the 90-94 all the way to Cicero. Then that Damon exit.
Cicero sucks.
Well, 55 on the Damon exit though is just terrible going southbound.
Jesus, calm down, Bolingbrook.
Yeah, I got traffic up at me too.
No, my number 3 again. Like, I mean, Elon Musk. Enough said, right? Like that. It's just he might be on this tournament for the next decade. Against my number 14 seed, Billy Corgan. It originally was for the New Year's Eve celebration with Wizzo the Clown at his coffee house or tea house that he had at the beginning of the year last year. But then I watched the Winter Classic not last week, and that performance by the Smashing Pumpkins was god awful. It was
bad, dude.
So bad that I'm like, what the fuck, Billy Corgan? I used to love the Pumpkins.
I said to Sarah too, dude. I was like, holy shit, man, he got bad all of a sudden, man. Like that's not 90 Smashing Pumpkins for sure.
He's got to do Mini Vanilli now. He's got to play with the tape recorder.
So yeah, Billy Corgan is my 14 seed. My number 6 seed, Brandon Spano. He is the CEO of the All City Network, or CHGO as you guys know it, for firing a lot of good people a week before the holidays, and then putting out a tone deaf, explanation. And it was just bad news all around. My number 11 seed is Daylight Savings Time. Again, we talked about it a couple weeks ago. If we are sticking to one, we got to figure out which one's the better one, right? It's the summer one.
Which is the summer one.
Yeah. So Daylight Savings Time, I think, is always there. White Sox subreddit, I feel like, again, the slum of the internet is the White Sox subreddit.
That's mostly any Reddit, though.
Yeah, that's true. Most subreddits are bad, but for some reason, White Sox subreddit I understand, Sox fans just hate everything in general, but those guys are just flat out mean to everybody. They're mean to like nice people, like my Sox Summer. They're really mean to him.
Oh yeah, you go in there. They trash him sometimes.
Yeah, it's not nice. He's our friend. No. Number 10 seed Cicadas, obviously. Cicadas it's once every 13 or 17 years.
13, 17 years.
But this summer was the year of the cicadas, and they were all over the place. I work outside. They're pain in the dick. I hated them.
I think I need glasses. I thought it said chicas.
No, I'm not bumming chicas. I ain't got to worry about chicas anymore.
Tequila and?
Tequila and chicas? My number 15.
Get that one first.
My number 15 seed is someone. I'm going to announce it now, guys. They've been on my board every year that we've done this tournament. This is the last year the Chicago Fire are going to be on my Bum of the Year board because they're going to be good next year. So book it here.
No, they're not.
I know. They're going against Jerry Reinsdorf, who, they're always going to be good. He's always going to be on there. Thoughts? Who's winning? Drake? Jerry? Subreddit?
I think you're gonna have some upset with Daylight Savings Time, and I might be honest. Brandon Johnson might take the whole thing.
I probably would say Brandon Johnson.
Yeah, Brandon Johnson's a dark horse, or not even a dark horse. He's a 4 seed, but he could do some damage in this tournament. I mean, Jerry's always gonna get like to at least the end of our region.
If it comes between Brandon Johnson and Jerry Reinsdorf, man, we might just have to end the tournament right there because that might break the internet.
Yeah.
Could you imagine though if you had to go back to yours real quick?
Yeah.
Could you imagine though if that was your choice? You're looking at the phone, you're like, who do you hate more, Brandon Johnson or Jerry Reinsdorf? And you're just like, oh my god, like can I abstain from voting in this one because that's a tough one.
To tell you the truth, I thought about not even putting Elon. Elon's got the rabbit ears on his fucking Twitter. He's always searching his name and looking for shit to do. We might get canceled just for putting Elon in this Bum of the Years tournament.
You better put your burner account on there so that way we don't.
I ain't afraid of him. I
am.
All right, and since Dougie's not here, I'm gonna take over his region. I'm gonna try to figure out his reason. So I got his notes here.
A lot of them are obvious stuff.
Yeah. He's coming up hot right off the bat. Number 1 seed animal abuser versus number 16 drunk driving. That's a tough one. Who do you vote for on that one, man? Like
all of the above.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All of
that's
the above.
another tough one there. His number 8 seed Cubs fans versus number 9 Sox game day ops.
That's another good one too. These are good.
He's got a
matchups
tough,
to start
yeah.
Yeah. He said that he put the Cubs fans in there because they were in his DMs when he had the boo video. I guess he did.
Yeah, he called them that he was their daddy for the
Yes,
the
that's
Blackhawks
what it was.
game.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the Cubs fans did not take that too lightly. And then Sox game day ops, obviously that needs no reason. It's terrible. He's got number 5 seed Aaron Rodgers versus number 12 Summer Colds. Oh, so Summer Colds might make a run here as well.
I think Rodgers is going to make Rodgers is doing like the old school, like I got one last one in me. Because to tell you the truth, Aaron Rodgers has won this tournament for us in the past, and then he's been in the finals or at least the Final Four like every year. If he retires, this might be. I know he's chatty and likes to be on Pat McAfee's show and stuff like that, but this might be the last good run for Aaron Rodgers in the Bum of the Year tournament.
Yeah. So 2 quick notes for the number 1 animal abusers. He had that listed as the hurricane dog, the guy that tied up the dog.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
And then Aaron Rodgers, he has listed as fake selling. I don't know what the note was with that.
But... when he got sacked, and then they called the penalty. So like they got the ball back, and he was like, it was almost like a soccer, like he was hurt but not hurt.
Gotcha. All right, he's got number 4 seed Chicago head coaches versus number 13 Mother Nature.
To tell you the truth, when we were making the graphics, I felt like calling him out on this. This is almost cheating that he has all of the head coaches, not just one. Like Jason, we talked about in the pre-show that like it was shocking that none of us picked Pedro Grifol or Matt Eberflus, and I said I didn't because I assumed you guys were going to. So we don't have Pedro Grifol or Matt Eberflus in this tournament, but then Dougie just picked them all.
Yeah, I think we got to put some rules together, some tighter rules together next.
That's smart.
I mean, it's smart, but I mean, we might have to not have that grouped as an easy because, that's you hate them all. You don't like any of the coaches.
He's got a lot. I know we haven't gone through the whole thing just yet, but he's got a lot of like good ones in this region.
Because he was picking chalk, man. He was picking for the Nate, like just to make the run.
Can you
for the
blame him?
tournament.
I mean,
I know it's smart move.
It's a good move.
Yeah,
smart move. Number 3 seed Bleacher Jeff versus number 14 seed TSA. The Bleacher Jeff guy, as you guys remember, he was the one who said, "Please, give me money to go to Japan to watch the Cubs play." Yes, it started a GoFundMe, and that was right after I think it was a school shooting or something like that.
Right.
It was like a hurricane or something. Or
was it a hurricane?
It was the North Carolina hurricane.
Yeah, it was like hurricane. Yeah.
It was like the same day he did the GoFundMe.
Yeah.
TSA just they're bad. Dougie has a lot of issues with TSA when he travels a lot, I guess. So he didn't put a reason.
He sees them every other week.
His number 6 seed Kevin Warren's 18-hour workday versus number 11 Southwest Airlines. So he hates Kevin Warren's video montage of his waking up at 3 a.m. to work. Number 11 Southwest Airlines. I don't know if I have any notes here for that. Oh, they changed his flight on him last minute.
That's a no, but I mean, you like Southwest Airlines, right?
I'm souring on them though because they keep on jacking up their prices. So
I don't even think it's that good of it's not even a budget airline anymore. There's cheaper airlines than them, but they're still not as nice as like the main airlines. So they're just kind of like in no man's land right now.
Yeah. His number 7 seed New Yorkers versus number 10 Kanye West. I mean, New Yorkers don't need any reason to bum them.
Yeah, Kanye, he was mad that he exploits his wife.
Yes, that his wife was being naked all the time in public.
Yeah, Dougie is anti-nakedness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Apparently he hasn't heard of free the nipple.
He's not a fan.
No. And then finally his number 15 seed Work versus number 2 Political Ads. I mean, two things that people hate the most, right?
When I saw 15 seed work, I said, "Holy shit, this is going to be a Cinderella run. This is going to be like, like one of these like actual NCAA Cinderella runs." How do you not hate work? Work's going to get to at least the Final Four.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think work going up against like animal abusers or drunk drivers, like that's a brutal matchup to pick. I mean, the political ads, as much as they suck, they only come around every couple years. Then they go away. Then you remember how much you hate them for 2-3 months, 4 months, whatever. Work you got to go to every day, man, and it sucks. So I got 20 more years to work.
Hey, Prez,
yeah.
we weren't talking about you, by the way, when he met Cubs fans.
Nah, he probably did. He met Praz and the Dram Day bums in the bleachers.
That's true.
Yeah.
Nah, just kidding.
So that is our 4 regions. A lot of dark horses here. I think there's going to be some surprises from a lot of number ones. Oof. I mean, Dougie's got some, like I said, Dougie's got some chalk there, man. He's got the animal abuser, the drunk driver, the work. Peter, you got, Drake and Jerry. I got cancer. Well, that I don't actually have. I put cancer
cancer on there.
Yes, I put cancer in the bracket. So
Quick. All right. So
we're gonna have some tough matchups
because we don't match up with each other until the Final Four.
Correct.
Whoever wins our respective region then gets matched up with the other bums. So real quick, let's just pick a quick prediction. Who do you think gets out of the Dougie region?
I think it's gonna be work.
I think it's gonna be work and Aaron Rodgers in the final. And I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna. I'd rather vote Aaron Rodgers than work. I'd rather go to work than have to deal with Aaron Rodgers. So that I'm thinking Aaron Rodgers wins this region.
I think the number one is going to be animal abusers.
Yes. That one might win the whole goddamn thing. You're number one and Jason's number one. Or I mean, Dougie's number one and Jason's number one are something that like you kind of have to vote. If you don't vote against it, you're a bad person. All right. So for me. Who's winning?
I think Brandon Johnson's going to take it.
Yeah, I'm thinking either Brandon Johnson or Jerry Reinsdorf are the two that I think is going to come out of this region. Yeah,
I agree with you, Peter. I think it's one of those two. For Johnny's region, I'm gonna go with the upset for Hurricanes. I think Hurricanes is going to come out. I
think now that we're in it, I think the winter flu is gonna make the run. Everyone's sick. I feel like everyone's sick the last like month.
I've just been seeing it everywhere. Whatever I got, on Twitter or whatever. It's just I see cold after cold. I got sick. On New Year's I was down. I was down for the count again. I got re-sick. I didn't even go. I didn't even go out because I was all feeling all weak and shit. So I just spent watching that terrible. That Chicago New Year's bullshit going on.
Yeah. And Jason, it's going to be hard not to vote cancer though, like straight through. Although like if the right pocket of Twitter catches like Roger Goodell or Chris Getz, then they might get. But yeah, we got, so voting starts tomorrow?
Voting starts tomorrow. We'll start the polls around 9 a.m. ish. And then we'll run the bracket each day. So round 1 will be this week, Tuesday through Friday. Thanks everyone who's going to vote. And as always, please make sure you retweet, comment so we can get picked up in Elon's algorithm. Otherwise, we're going to bum him some more. Peter might have to move him up from 3 to 1 then.
I'll bum him I said it. I'm going to bum him every year for the foreseeable future because he's on some fuckboy shit. Yeah.
All right. With that, that's our tournament bracket reveal. Time to get ready to bum some people for this year.
I think he's a bum. I think he's an absolute bum.
You call me a bum? My man, I take that with pride, with honor, that I'm a bum. I'm the king of the bums, baby.
Because you're training like a damn bum, you know that? Bum. A bum.
Bum. Bum. All right, let's get to our listener bums and MVPs. First one of 2025. Let's fucking go. Gordo, MVP, everyone. Yay. Kicking off the year, loving everyone. Bum of the week, 1/9/2025, his new surgery date. Get well soon, Gordo. We hope everything works out for you with that.
Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple days
Come
away.
out.
So
You got
we'll
this.
be
I know
praying
he
for you,
said
we'll be praying for you.
You got it.
he was on Twitter. He said he was a little he's apprehensive, nervous, rightfully so. You got this.
Yep. And as always, if you are looking to help Gordo support with all his medical bills for his quadruple bypass, please, you can scan that QR code for his Venmo, or you can DM us for his Zelle info, and we will gladly send that over to you. But thanks to everyone who's helped him out with some of his bills. King S, Bum of the Week, Winter. Yeah, it got cold, man.
Got cold and rainy and icy.
Yeah, not a welcome.
All in the same day.
Yeah, all in the same day. Bad.
Welcome to Chicago winter. MVP, my dog for killing physical therapy post surgery. Yes,
Hell yeah.
Good.
That's good
Always
news.
love seeing a good pupper recovery.
Yeah, ACL surgery, I believe.
Yep. Brewhan Luke, MVP, Dougie for being an incredibly gracious host for Bum's Happy Hour last week. Yeah, that was they all did Luke, Dougie, Aaron. They did a great job with the Bourbon County
Stouts.
review. The stouts, yeah, good. And extra shout out to Dougie for doing a great job hosting. He also gave Peter an extra clip at the end of the show when he was trying to end the feed.
He didn't fit. Yeah, he couldn't figure out how to end the stream because I told him like I was only going to be in the background for like 45 minutes. And I was like, you could just promo the Ramova event and end the stream. And then, yeah, I'm going to have to clip that and show it next week because it's like he could
use it as an outro, like da 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 da. Bye. Bum terrorists. Yeah,
easy.
that was bad. That was bad. What happened in New Orleans? Sober Jim. Bum of the week. Sammy Davis Jr. 5,000. No explanation needed. None needed at all.
Evergreen tweet is what I said.
Yep. Evergreen tweet. Evergreen bum. Sockside Boys. Bum of the week. Ryan Poles for requesting interviews with Mike McCarthy, Anthony Weaver, Drew Petzing, and Mike Kafka, but not requesting one with Joe Brady. We talked about it. Kind of mind numbing that. You know, the two guys we thought were going to be no-brainer interviews, and yet we get Mike McCarthy and Mike Kafka.
Just a bunch of bums.
Yeah. Colonel Bourbon, bum everyone who doubted Caleb. Yes, 100%. He's 100%. He's never lost in Lambeau.
Never lost in Lambeau.
MVP, this ass in jeans.
Congrats.
It didn't happen.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jay. Picker, it didn't happen, Colonel Bourbon.
Yeah. Jeff Bartlett, MVP. Jalen Johnson for flipping off the Packers fans yesterday. Sure, he'll get fined for that, but it was worth it. Absolutely.
He's got money.
Worth every penny. Worth every penny.
Yep.
I saw this video late, Jay. Did you guys see when Cairo Santos did the Lambeau leap? And like,
No.
there's these two. So he kicked the field goal, started dancing.
I saw that.
And then he runs and does the Lambeau leap. And then these two ladies, these two Packers cheeseball ladies, get so mad at him that they try to like push him off the little railing. And then there's like a bunch of Bears come to help him. And so it's like Packers fans really pissed off. And there's a good amount of Bears people. They were just trolling the Packers fan. I loved every second of that video.
Nice. All right, next up, Joey P, MVP, Derrick Rose. This dude has done so much for the city of Chicago. He most definitely deserved getting his number retired in the rafters of United Center. Yep, we agree. Bum of the week, Chicago Bulls for taking advantage and making this a money grab by forcing us to wait a whole year to do a whole other event for the raising of the. Yeah, again, they should have just done it, made it Derrick Rose Day. Here he is, raise the banner, have it be done. But
I love that.
Who loves money grab?
I love that Reinsdorf said it on the day that they were doing the ceremony as well too. They had that little video and they were like, "Hey, guess what? We are gonna raise your banner up, but next season."
I like how Derrick Rose calls him bro. Like it's Michael Reinsdorf. He's like, thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Turkey Fonseca, bum of the week. George Pickens' little bitch ass dropping balls like a pendejo.
Yeah. I mean, he was
Pendejo.
bad that game. Very bad.
Yeah. MVP, Baloney, for cleaning his nightstand and allowing me to lose my mind and soul during that game. What about the garage, though? How was the garage doing?
Oh, what's going on with the garage?
Gotta wait till spring, maybe even fall. Who knows?
Chicken.
To be announced.
Phil, for those who don't know, what's wrong with the garage? Is it just piled up? Is it dirty?
It's cluster. It needs a little spring cleaning. There's boxes that should be either thrown out or put away. I got stuff from the summer, like we don't need the kids' bikes and the Power Wheels in the garage right now, so I got to put them in storage in the other garage. I need to clean both garages basically, but we need to move stuff around and it needs cleaning. But the game was on. It was bad. I knew things were going bad. It was a must win for both the Steelers and the Bengals. I said, let me take the kids upstairs. They could play in the playroom. And I started watching TV and cleaning the nightstand. It was something that needed to be done.
Well, Julie in here saying she cleaned it twice already.
Ooh.
All right. Well,
Oh,
I don't know what to say.
third
time's a charm.
Does it need spring cleaning or does it need a winter cleaning?
Well, it's too cold now. I ain't cleaning shit.
Like how you change the subject right away. Dougie Fresh, bum of the week photo. I understand showing strength and no fear for terrorism, but come on, read the room. Governor Jeff Landry ate dinner tonight in New Orleans. Proud to be part of this incredibly resilient city. See everyone at the game tomorrow. So yeah, that was the night. That was the night of the attack in New Orleans. He went out for dinner and took a photo for the interwebs. Kind of bad timing. Timing, dude. Bum of the week, Tyreek Hill for acting like a child for not making the playoffs. Sure, you leaving Miami might hurt the growing population numbers. You have boomed. That's a sex joke. Since you have been banging your way, that's another sex joke, through South Beach, but at least the streets will be safer. Do legit when cheetah to cheater. Man, you just bring it.
I know, dude. I didn't know what he was talking about. So then I went and I looked at the Tyreek Hill exit interview from this week. He was upset that the Dolphins didn't make the playoffs, and he thought maybe he's leaving. He wants to go to a winning team. He's like, I've always been in the playoffs. So I didn't think it was all that bad what he said. Like, obviously he's a diva wide receiver, but that's what diva wide receivers do. When you put up those type of numbers, you're a diva. Dougie went hard at him. I'm starting to think Dougie must have had that. He had to have had him in his fantasy league or something. Like there's something underlying with Tyreek Hill,
some underlying hatred or something.
Yeah.
Or he must have ran into him on one of those many vacations that Dougie's.
Yeah, that's true. They run in the same circles in Florida when Dougie's doing all those.
You never
cruises.
know. You never know.
And his MVP, the Chicago Blacks, for hosting this wonderful season ticket holder event. The fam and Joey P and Sandy are at right now, or maybe he is too. We don't know where he is.
I thought maybe he was salting because when it snows, he's got to go out salting and stuff. But it sounds like I saw a picture because I get alerts for Dougie on the Twitter machine. He's at the event.
All right. Well, I hope Sandy P's live video recording this for our YouTube page. Hope they're doing some content, big C content with that.
That would be good.
Finally, Mailman Jack, bum of the week, the Budusi tree in front of my house. Finally losing all its leaves in January. I ain't cleaning that up.
Badusi. It's Badusi.
That's a good use of the term Badusi.
Yeah, I think he was trying to say something else, but
no, Badusi's a word. Look it up.
Oh, I know it's a word.
He's trying to say something else.
I think he's trying to say something else. MVB, the Bears social media since yesterday, they're cracking me up, embracing the win and making light of themselves. Well done.
Hell yeah. Everything, even the tweets feel better when they win. We needed that win. We needed that win.
Yes, they do. All right. Time to get to our bums and MVBs right now. We already read Dougie, so it's just the three of us right now. So, Johnny, you want to kick us off here?
Yeah, quick shout out to Notre Dame for beating Georgia in the playoffs, or facing Penn State, and then Illinois Illinois winning the Citrus Bowl, and then winning against Oregon and Washington the basketball. So my MVPs. I got three what a bombs here, and the first one is Peter. I don't know if you have one of them up.
Yeah, it's close personal friend of Eddie Barstool. It's Bernstein.
Yeah, Dan Bernstein, good old Bernstein. So Bernstein put out here about he says, okay, but this means Chet Walker, Artis Gilmore, and Horace Grant, arguably more, are now absolute must for the honor. To not include them per this now lowered standard would be an injustice. I think they were all great, good players at their time. I mean, Horace, I don't remember him like winning an MVP or a rookie of the year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just bitter. I just feel like he's just bitter with this whole Derrick Rose thing. There's a lot of people out there that were very bitter that, he had his, he's going to have his jersey up and retired come next season. And like I said, I'm not disregarding what any of those players did as Bulls. They were good, rightfully so, but they're not like worthy of just, yes, did they win championships? Yeah. You know who was part of that, also that champions too was Jordan, was Pippen, and you had Phil Jackson, a hell of a coach. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a lot of bitterness to personally to me. There's a lot of them out there. It wasn't just Bernstein. It was just other people as well too. But like I said, Dan Bernstein's
having Horace Grant on that thing is crazy. I can't speak to Artis Gilmore or who was the other?
Chet Walker.
Chet Walker. I can't speak to that. Like obviously they were before our time, but comparing Horace Grant to Derrick Rose is crazy. Like Grant was fine. He was a rebounder, a role player. That fine. He was at the time third best bull on a team, maybe even fourth best bull on a team at some point. No, thank you.
No. My second one is the WWE for putting the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia for 2026. They did this deal. I think it was like a 10-year deal with Saudi Arabia to do a show almost every single year. Obviously all the shit that goes on in Saudi Arabia, they got this whole Netflix thing. Obviously, they just came out with Raw today and stuff like that. So they have these good deals that they do, but then you also have these these bad decisions that they do as well too. So for them going to Saudi Arabia and doing this thing, I think it's just not a good idea. So that's my second what a bum, and my third what a bum is Jeremy Roenick. He is in the news about basically bitching on his podcast, saying that Connor Bedard didn't say hi to him.
He big timed him, is what he said.
He big timed him. Like, you don't know what Connor Bedard does like during like the pre games and stuff like that. And I think also too, for trying to put that out there versus just saying it like, hey, put him onto the side is like, hey, maybe this is not something you should do to Hawks legends or anything like that. And then just basically like calling him out like that. I just think that's not the right move to do. Jerry Roenick, I do like a lot of what he did in his career. But he's pretty bitchy too at times as well too. And this is pretty a bitchy move on his part for calling Connor Bedard out for not saying hi to him. What are you, fucking grammar school or high school? Jesus.
Yeah, no, that's a good call.
Better. You got to do better.
If you watch the video, he comes off like a baby in that video.
Yeah.
That like everyone else said hi to him and Chelios, but Bedard didn't. Like, who gives a fuck, dude? He's busy trying to win a game that they got blown out in.
Try.
Jay, before we get going, we got a $10 super chat from Tata.
Oh, thanks, Tata.
Yeah, he said wanted to see how that worked by supporting someone who's been there for me more than he knows. We love Tata.
Tata. Yeah.
Yep. Good old Tata. All right. I'm going to go next, Peter. I'll let you close it out. My first bum of the week is the ABC Chicago New Year's Eve show.
Oh, so bad.
It's cringe as fuck every year. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I said it was so bad that I think you text us during the New Year's Eve celebration and you said, we might as well do a live stream for New Year's Eve because it's got to be better than whatever this bullshit that they're putting out. And I agree with you because we stayed at home. We had the TV on. All of those are so bad. So, yeah, I don't know if obviously we all got things to do. It's a year away, but I'm down for a New Year's countdown live stream.
Got to get Mark Giangreco on the show.
Yes,
yeah, that's going to be our goal.
That's a must.
That's a must.
Yeah, we'll have a bootleg New Year's Eve show with Mark Giangreco.
Yes,
but who's making out with him?
Yeah,
but Dougie.
But that show is so bad from the overproduced choreographed dance with Cheryl Scott. It was very cringe. Then obviously I don't know their names because I don't watch the show, but like the married couple and they're just drunk on the air talking, doing shots, and he's asking his wife if she's pregnant on the air. Do you have anything you want to announce?
That was crazy.
Yeah, like she felt like uncomfortable as hell. And then you got like the other couple like dancing with house music, which was awkward as shit. And then when they finally had some musical performances, those were all pre-recorded lip sync. They weren't. It was like a 30-second snippet of fucking a live, whatever their live performance was. But it wasn't even them singing. It was just hit play on the track.
Yeah, that pregnancy thing was weird, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know where that came from.
It's like, are you sure? You don't have anything you want to announce? Like, you're not pregnant? Like,
apparently,
fuck.
I read about it online afterwards. Apparently, they did the show last year, and she was pregnant then. So it was like an inside joke, but it's like nobody knew that. We had a living room full of people, and we were just like, "What the hell's happening?"
Yeah, it's very, very weird. So
yeah, because she was taking shots, right?
Yeah,
she was.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah.
But now that you're taking musical
even when they were at the Mexican restaurant, they got the guys with the maracas and everything, like just making it all fucking just like super, super cringe. Like, okay, you're at a Mexican restaurant, like you don't need to like, take the maracas out there, man. Like, I don't know. It was bad. I hate that, you have like this super like cool thing that New York does every year, and then we get this like cringe as fuck. I'm not saying the Dick Clark Ryan Seacrest show is like
they're all bad.
Anything
now.
like they're all bad.
Yeah, it was terrible.
But the fact that ABC Chicago only the third major market in the US has one little dinky half-hour show that's super cringe to watch. Like, we need to do better. We need to do better as a city getting New Year's Eve shows. There's got to be something another network can do to make something more relevant and more watchable.
Somebody on Twitter, and I don't know if it was in the comments or someone mentioned it, and I thought it was a great idea. They should have the WGN morning news team do like a midnight, because that's an entertaining product, and just let them get drunk like Andy Cohen and the guy on CNN. I'm blanking on his name.
Anderson Cooper.
Yeah, Anderson Cooper.
Anderson.
Like, they just get ripped drunk and interview people, and I'm like, it's more hilarious than anything else on TV, but it's still like levels of cringe. So yeah, Jay, you had that tweet out there, or the text, and I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. If we want musical acts, we could get Taco Gladiator to play a little bit on his guitar, and we could have other interesting guests along the way. I'm in.
Yeah, we're gonna plan this out. Bum's New Year's Eve show 2025. We're gonna live stream it. Be better than anything ABC does.
we got to get Wiz of the Clown. Redemption for Wiz of the Clown.
And we won't ask any ladies in attendance if they're pregnant live on stream.
No, never.
I kind of want Cookie the Clown, not Wizzo.
Is he still alive?
Oh, is he dead?
I don't know.
All right, I'm sorry. I'll do my
homework. My second bum of the week is DraftKings. They are launching a new subscription service for $20 a month that'll give you guys better odds on parlays. So if you thought that losing money on parlays wasn't easy enough, they're going to make it more enticing for you to lose money, because they're going to do profit boosts on that. So the fact that they're just charging $20 a month for this, it seems like just an extortion scam. I don't know how this is legal, but like, you got to pay to get better odds for gambling. I don't see how that's more, like moral or I don't know, legal, but whatever. They'll probably get sued for it. But yes, if you want to boost your parlay legs, you can pay $20 a month to DraftKings, or maybe just like Peter says, don't bet parlays.
That's the way to do it.
And then my MVP is the Minnesota Vikings. I don't know if you heard this story, but they bought up 1,900 tickets for the Lions game yesterday, right behind the Vikings bench, and then they sold them at a discount to Vikings fans so they could travel and make.
Damn, 1,900 tickets.
Yeah.
How did even the Lions, or how did that even happen?
I guess it's legal.
That's awesome.
but they bought up a whole bunch of tickets and then they sold them at a discount to fans, so the fans could go there, travel, and support the team. So that's a good strategy to like pack an opponent's house.
Dude, soccer in Europe does this all the time. They have in every away stadium, they have one section for the away team, and it's usually packed, and it's usually like security like next to the aisles, so they like you don't intermingle. They should start doing this in more American sports, because that would be awesome if it was like one section of Lambeau Field full of Bears fans for a game, and then same thing, one section full of Packers fans for a Bears home game. I kind of like that idea, Jay.
Yeah. So MVP the Vikings for doing that, and then giving their fans a discount, not increasing the cost to get them to go. So MVP to the Vikings for that. So, all right, Peter, take us home.
All right, so I've only got one bum, and it's the city of New York. Did you see the story about the congestion relief zone? So basically, what it is in certain parts of Manhattan, they're charging a toll to drive through that section of the city. It's a $9 toll. It comes out to $220 if you're a daily driver working in that part of the city. And I saw some people cheering on it when they cut the ribbon and stuff, and I thought these people are stupid. But most importantly, I have as one of my bums of the year, Brandon Johnson. And I just know in the back of my head, Brandon Johnson's watching this video and saying, whoa, this is a good idea. Let's do it in the West Loop or South Loop or somewhere in the city, and let's try it out ourselves. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? So just as much as like I understand the government has to make like you got to make money somehow because everyone's in a fucking deficit and stuff like that. Charging people to go to work $220 a month, and I understand it's Manhattan and people that live there already are rich as hell, and people that work there probably can't afford it. But you're not telling me everyone can afford it. You're not telling me the people delivering or just the day-to-day guys are able to afford it. And I'm like, man, they got away with this. They implemented it in New York, and it's just coming to Chicago. And that's where I like let New York do New York things. But Brandon Johnson in his freaking half-wit mind's like, let's do this too.
Yep, stupid.
And then my MVP, it's their last Victory Monday of the year, and I didn't think I was going to be able to do this. MVP is the Bears, baby. Big win against the Packers. I complained last time they played the Packers that both of my kids have never seen the Packers win, never seen the Bears win against the Packers. Now I could cross that off the bucket list, and this is hopefully a sign of things to come. Undefeated in 2025. Caleb Williams had a up and down year, but I would consider it a success. And it just feels good going into the postseason or the offseason, riding high off of victory. Like we weren't as negative on the show today, and it felt right. It felt good. So I need more Victory Mondays in 2025. So it was good. So I didn't think I was going to MVP the Bears, but I am. I'm MVPing the Bears.
Oh. Awesome. All right. One last thing before we wrap up. Just a reminder, our Hawks watch party is Friday, 6 p.m. And I just want to, we said we got a $25 drink package. We got ticket giveaway, but also what Peter's wearing right there, that hat right there. We have a whole bunch of those that are going to be on sale for people in attendance. $25 for that beautiful, beautiful new hat. Thanks to our friends, Kicks, Flips, Thrifts. I'm never going to get, that's a tongue twister for me.
Shout out Jose.
Yeah, shout out Jose. Shout out Jose for that beautiful, beautiful hat. But yes, we have about 30 of those hats. We're going to have those on sale. So if you're in attendance, you get first come, you get first access to it. Anything after that will be put on sale for anyone else who wasn't able to make it for the party on Friday. But yes, we will see everyone on Friday. Make sure you drop your free RSVPs at Ramova's website or through the link on our pinned tweet on our Twitter page. Get the optional package. Get ready to just have a great time. Some food, some drinks, some shots. I'll bring in the shot ski. So get ready to some Instagram videos with the shot ski. Blackhawks drinking rules will be full in effect. We got Malort, we got tequila. Might have another surprise or two. We're still working on it. Going to be a great time Friday. We can't wait. Thanks to our friends at the Ramova for helping us put this awesome party together. It's going to be a great time. And thank you to everyone who joined us, who commented, who liked, subscribed, super chatted us. We appreciate you guys all. Here's to the first show of 2025, and we'll see you guys Friday.
We did it. Cheers, everybody.